we're going to shift our spotlight now over to one of our partners, LaunchDarkly, who just brought us a fantastic breakout session a bit ago on how to reduce your technical debt using LaunchDarkly's feature flags, which are in Visual Studio Code, GitHub, and Microsoft Teams. If you enjoyed that session as much as I did and want to hear more from the presenter, you're in luck. Please join me in welcoming our principal dev advocate at LaunchDarkly, Heidi Waterhouse. Hello, Heidi.
Hey, Donna, how you doing?
I'm awesome. So by the way, your background is sweet. Like, what is going on with those lights? That looks really cool.
Those are the nano leaf hex lights, and I love them.
We're going to have a very long conversation about these lights later, but right now, I would love for you to introduce yourself to the audience and tell them who you are and what you do.
Hi, I'm Heidi Waterhouse. I am a principal developer advocate, but I call myself a transformation advocate because my job at LaunchDarkly is to help people overcome that chasm fear of moving to CI/CD by giving them some better tools for how to manage it with feature management.
Okay, I love that. Transformation advocate. Like everyone's doing the digital transformation thing and you are the advocate and the guide on how do you do that exactly, which is really cool. Love that definition. We are stealing that, Seth. Like, I'm just telling you, she's come up with a fantastic name for it. Okay, so in the featured session and today at LaunchDarkly, you've shared a super useful dev tool called Feature Flags. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that is?
So a feature flag is a way to control code after it's been deployed into production. It's a way to say, I want to manage my features without having to do a whole deploy. And the ability to do that really changes how you think about what software is. Because if you can deploy broken code without messing anything up for your users, then you're giving yourself the opportunity to do a lot of like small scale canary testing or targeted delivery of value. And so when it comes back to it, when it comes down to the code, it's a fancy if statement. And a lot of people say, well, I can write a fancy if statement, like, why should I bother? But the architecture that it takes to drive a fancy if statement with a sub half-second response time all around the world is non-trivial. Mm-hmm. And so we're trying to give people the opportunity to use this tool in a safe and scalable way.
Okay, I love that term. Feature flag equals fancy if statement, except way easier to use. So I've used feature flags as a dev productivity tool forever and ever, but you actually mentioned that it's actually something that might also be like a business user productivity tool or a sales productivity tool. Can you tell us about that? That was fascinating to me.
Right. So one of the things that I've been thinking about is like, how does this extend from like developer to business user? And I was thinking about, say you're in a support environment and something is going wrong with the new rollout. Well, it used to be you either had to contact the developer and get them to redeploy, or you had to manage it somehow. But now as a support person, you have this no code way to say something's wrong with that feature. We're turning it off right now. Or you have a way to do entitlements that doesn't require you to do, a lot of like sophisticated table joins, because you can just say all of the people in this segment get this version of the product and all of the people who are paying extra get the super fancy version.
Okay, I love that, because what you're saying is the way we would use an if statement in code, you can actually use it just in the data store. You can say like, right, only deploy to these people, like your canary ring, or like show these people this ad, or show that people this offering, or whatever, sales things. So I have never thought about using feature flags like that, and you've completely changed my mind. I'm like, what is she talking about? Why is she saying feature flags as a sales tool? That's so random. But this makes sense. It makes a lot of sense because, we have these events and we're saying like, oh, if you're located in X many countries, we want to send you information about this time zone. And if you're located in North America, we want to send you about this time zone. So that makes perfect sense. I have never thought about that way, Heidi. Can you tell us? Yeah, sorry. Other use cases.
And then if you stack the segments up, so you're saying like, I want people in this time zone, but like this time zone includes people who speak English and people who speak Spanish. So what if I knew both of those things and could deliver even more precisely and say like, this is the thing that you particularly will be delighted by.
It's such a good marketing tool, right? Not like to do marketing, but to organize your marketing thinking or organize your communications thinking, really, which is such a cool idea. So what are some of the other use cases that LaunchDarkly is really focused on? I loved this one. This is a cool one.
Yeah, I love the kill switch use case, and the automated kill switch is the best. So you have an API pipeline that's inbound and it's feeding you data, blah, blah, blah. It's all good. All of a sudden, your monitoring notices that you have a 100x spike in inbound traffic. Well, either you really did something right and your marketing people all deserve some fancy drinks, or you have a DDoS attack going on. And either way, you want to shunt that information off into a separate database so it doesn't contaminate your usual database. But at the speed this is happening, you don't really have human time to react. So you link your monitoring tool up to LaunchDarkly and say, look, if you exceed this threshold, switch over, cut over the flow to the overflow database and like wake somebody up to deal with it.
Yeah.
But you still get that grace period.
That is a very, very creative way to think about it. And I hope everyone's taking notes because I'm learning so much. And if you haven't watched the featured partner session, you should watch it. It's one of the best I've seen. I thought it was just fantastic. So how can people learn more about LaunchDarkly, your use cases, your customers, et cetera, et cetera?
Well, we're really excited to be a sponsor here at Build, and we've put together a page of resources so that you can go visit all of those. We have books, we have talks, we have recordings, we have demos, we have demo requests. We want you to come talk to us and figure out how your business needs and your developer needs can be met by the ability to manage your features and progressively deliver value.
You have no idea how much I wish we're at Real Build, because then you and I would be getting fancy drinks after this and talking about this, because suddenly I have like 100 different ideas on, I wonder if I can use it for Power Apps to say, I don't want these to turn live yet, like the screen or that thing. I'm just building it, but I don't want it live. Now I'm like, so want to do it. With Visual Studio Code though, I can do it.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, Heidi, thank you so much for being in here. What a fabulous conversation this was. Have an amazing build.
All right. Thank you so much, Donna.
Okay, everyone, if you missed it, definitely check out Heidi's breakout session on demand, which features LaunchDarkly customer iPipeline UK. And if you'd like to dive deeper into GitHub, Microsoft Teams, and Visual Studio Code integration, check out the upcoming Ask the Experts live session with one of Heidi's LaunchDarkly colleagues over in the Connection Zone. To close, Heidi and I want to give a humongous shout out to all of our fellow neurodivergent friends who are watching us. We see you, we are you. You're not alone. Thank you.